of power.
And
Oh yes, introduce yourself.
I'm Jennifer Prettyman.
Woo!
Welcome, Jennifer. It's your
Very
first time
exciting.
on the podcast. We'll have to have you back another time to discuss more with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that'd be great.
But this time we are discussing the Oscar predictions.
Yes. Potentially, eventually, with some additional maybe drop-in guests too. So who knows? We might have some surprise pop-ins. We'll see.
We got kind of a mixed hat, or
Yeah,
who knows?
we'll find out.
Who might stop by. So what do you guys think about award shows right now? The Oscars, like obviously in particularly, just in general, like what
Mhm.
I felt like last year's was just a big disappointment.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
as a show, you know.
Oh, see, I kind of enjoyed it for like the first time in a while.
Oh,
Like
really?
generally award shows actually make me really sad. But the last couple of years, I would say I've enjoyed it. Maybe just because, I don't know, maybe because of the way everything else in life is happening. And so it's something small and simple to focus on that has to do with something that we love and care about. Even at like a very far, like not foreign level, but just a little, far away from us. But I think the biggest disappointment for me last year was just Nomadland.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
I agree.
yeah, like a lot of the nominations I thought were really good. I don't remember if it was the Oscars or not, where I just remember whoever the host was walking around and asking certain people questions, and the way that they were all set up was kind of fun. And it was a little more like intimate, and like they were all real alumni having a good time versus an award show. It seemed like it seemed, maybe that was 2 years ago. I don't know. Time doesn't mean anything anymore.
Well, yeah.
Jennifer, what do you think? Like, how do you feel about award shows?
I generally enjoy watching them, but last year I turned it on, and after about 10 minutes, I shut it off.
Yeah.
So
Good for you. I mean, it was at Union Station. There was no host again for like the third year in a row. And they kind of had these pseudo presenters that kind of got you between breaks and such. But and then the only highlight was really Glenn Close doing debut. So
yeah.
And if you had turned it off by then, which it was pretty deep into the schedule, like 2 hours in, like it's like, are they ever gonna make it a show? But I don't know.
So you stuck with it then, or?
I did. I mean, I wanted to see, because the big thing was like Chadwick Boseman at the end. They really built it up, and that was unprecedented because they ended with the best actor and not the best picture. And that was like, what are you doing?
Everyone assumed it was for that.
Right. Everyone thought it was going to be Chadwick Boseman, but it was Anthony Hopkins. So it was just like, wow. That was strange.
I forgot about that, and now I'm mad all over again.
Right. But I mean, it's like obviously the broadcasters didn't know until it was too late or something.
Right.
Because they would have wrapped it up with Best Picture as they usually do. But for some reason, they decided, no, we're going to switch Best Actor and Best Picture at the very last, whatever.
What if that was like another situation, like La La Land and... Yeah, where they were like, Anthony Hopkins, and then they get backstage and they're like, shit, you guys, it was actually Chadwick Boseman. Like, it was clearly planned out. Like, this was a thing, and now we just botched the whole thing, and they just never said anything, because they're like, well...
That's what they said.
Oh, fiasco that was.
Yeah, they were watching, or I was watching Kimmel, and they were showing, like, Lin-Manuel Miranda was on.
Yeah.
And they were showing the picture from that moment when everyone realized what it was going on with, like, it was Moonlight, not La La Land. And it was just funny zooming in and all the picture of people, like,
yep.
Some were really like, laughing it up, it's like, because it was like
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're kind of great. They should be grateful people tuned out by then. But
yeah.
But I mean, well, now we have what, 3 hosts, right?
Yeah.
To make up for those 3 years, right? That's the plan.
Wanda Sykes,
Amy
Schumer, and then who's the third one again? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Oh my god, I'm gonna look it up right now. This is gonna bug me.
Yes, please look that up.
Oscars. What year is this?
22.
Is it? Are we sure? I don't know about that.
Prepared.
This is poor Alan. This is me every time. I'm like, wait, what day is it? What's happening? What are we talking about? Regina Hall.
Yeah.
Love her. I can't believe I forgot about Regina Hall. But yeah, so I think that those are 3 really fun hosts. I think it's going to be a good time. I'm excited for that.
Because I think Jimmy Kimmel was the last host, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. I mean,
like solid host. Whereas last year they had like kind of intermittent.
I hope they're all being paid as full hosts, not like you get a third, you get a third, you get a third. You know, it's like
I would hope so, but they're women.
3 years, right? Exactly.
So who knows what they tried to? Although I feel like these are really strong women, so they'd be like, absolutely not, if they tried to like screw them over about that.
Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe they were just really respectful and were like, hey, you know what? We're going to pay you just a lot of solid money because you guys are hilarious and awesome and going to do a great job.
Yeah, and we sat on it for 3 years, so here's the money from those years.
Right? Not kidding.
Anyways, so we'll begin predictions here. We'll start with production design. The nominees are Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. Who do I have here? Oh, have you guys seen these films, all these, or?
I've seen 2 of them.
Okay, what'd you see?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I saw Dune and West Side Story. And that's all.
I saw them all except The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Mm-hmm. I have seen them all. This is tough for me. I kind of went between 2 of them here. I chose Dune, but my honorable mention would be Nightmare Alley. So,
and that's the one with names. This is great for a podcast. Bradley Cooper. Mm-hmm. Him. Okay, so it looked kind of scary, right?
Yeah, it's thriller-ish. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. So what makes you kind of lean towards that?
Towards Dune.
No, towards what makes you like honorable mention Nightmare Alley?
I guess it's a noir film. So, it just felt like it was a noir film, and it just, you felt like you were in that world. So there's a lot of kind of timely things, because I think it's more reminiscent of obviously noir, but also like radio, kind of broadcast to me. And when I hear Nightmare Alley, it's like, oh, it's like one of those murder mystery type, shows or whatever. So
yeah, I'm going with Nightmare Alley.
Okay.
I felt that the production design just really dragged you into the film. I thought it was a huge part of the film. It's almost what made the film. I'd be surprised if it didn't win, but I think if not, it would definitely be Dune. Although I have to say, of all the nominees, that was my least favorite film, and I got really tired of looking at brown sand.
Really?
So, if it does win production design,
yeah, we're gonna have some strong opinions here if you haven't noticed. So
yeah. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a very unpopular one later.
Yeah, okay. I think we're gonna have a bunch here coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Alan? I
kind of agree. I mean, I'll get to that with Dune here a little later, I think. Yeah, it is a lot of sand. I agree.
Having only seen 2 of these movies, and the only other one that I really have interest in seeing that I've actually wanted to see since it was available is Tragedy of Macbeth. I do have to also agree with Dune. It's interesting that the take of because this isn't the first place that I've actually heard people kind of got sick of it or sort of like seems kind of like tired and monotonous after a while, just being all of like the same thing. I do find that take very interesting. I was really enthralled in the whole world and the universe. I've never seen the original Dune or didn't know anything about it.
Right.
And so I was really enthralled in it myself, but I think that take is very interesting.
Yeah. So your pick is Dune?
Yeah.
Okay. Very with an asterisk. So
yeah. All of my picks are going to be with an asterisk.
Yeah, I have a few asterisks here to myself. So animated short film is our next category. I've only seen 2 because they were on like YouTube. So this is definitely an asterisk for the shorts.
They're showing them at the lagoon.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
I went to see that block, so I saw all of them.
Oh, so did you see like the docs, animated, and the live action?
No, just the animated, but they're also showing live action as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're showing documentaries, but
okay, well, you've seen the animated shorts.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's
what did
great.
you think?
My favorite was Robin.
Okay.
I don't know that that's going to win, but I just loved it. I love the style of the animation and the story and the characters. And so that's my preference. Will it win? Maybe not.
Right.
The others were all very unique. They were all very different. I liked Box Ballet probably second. The rest were okay. I wasn't real thrilled with them actually. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to say the nominees for animated short film are Affairs of the Art, Bestia, Box Ballet, Robin, and The Windshield Wiper. I only saw Windshield Wiper and Affairs of the Art. Of the 2, I like Windshield Wiper best, so asterisk there. Can't speak to the other 3, so Windshield Wiper is my pick. So
I saw none of them, so I'm gonna pick.
Can you
yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
I
don't know what happened. It was on, then I went away, and now I'm back. So I don't know how long I'll be back for, but I'm here for now.
That works. I will mix it up as someone who has seen none of these. I'm going solely based off of names for fun, sort of like all of my March Madness picks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go Affairs of the Art because
Okay.
I love art. So that's what we're going to go with for no reason at all.
That was an interest. It was interesting.
Yeah. Very.
I know nothing about it.
Interesting.
The next one is live action short film. Nominees are A La Kachu, Take and Run, The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, and Please Hold.
These all sound like song titles, to be totally honest.
One of them is for sure.
Oh, well,
at least one.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I have also seen none of these, so I will let you 2 go.
I've only seen 2 again. Jennifer, have you?
Well, sorry to say I haven't seen any of them yet, but I plan to see them all before the ceremony. Yeah, I haven't. I'm going to though. But so Ellen, go ahead. I have nothing to add to this.
Right. I saw The Long Goodbye and On My Mind. Both were very good in their own ways. I guess I went with The Long Goodbye.
Does it make you cry?
Yeah, they're both pretty sad. So
are they? Okay.
Yeah,
They sound
in
like
their own
it.
ways, and disappointing in the long goodbye.
Oh,
yeah.
sad.
It's I forget his name. It's an actor. But that short film, it's he was up for best actor, I think. Was it last year? Do you remember that? I don't know. Our memories are short here.
Yeah.
Last year I was kind of just, I don't know, I was in my own world somewhere. I really hadn't seen, and it's weird because typically I see all the films that are nominated, or a good majority of them, and I'm really into it. And last year, just, I don't know, I just wasn't, so I didn't see many of the films, so I can't help you with the name.
Riz.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was Riz.
Oh, Riz. Okay.
That's what I thought. Anyway, love him. He's amazing. Everything I've seen him in, I'm obsessed. He's incredible. Yeah. That in itself makes me want to watch that movie.
There it is. Riz Ahmed did post that to his YouTube, so check that out.
Yeah.
Up next is category for best sound. Now this is a combined category, which they switched I think it was last year.
Yeah.
It used to be mixing and editing differently. The nominees are Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story.
Seen 3 of these. Ooh.
I have seen all of them.
How about you, Jen?
I've seen all of them except No Time to Die, which I plan to. But yeah, so I saw the other 4.
All right, Jen, what's your pick?
This one is tough. I didn't like the sound in Dune. I'm not just hating on Dune, but it was muffled sounding, like the dialogue. I had a hard time. It's like everything else was so loud, and the dialogue was hard. So no Dune.
So you didn't have Atmos speakers? You don't have 31 speakers in your home? And...
I don't. Maybe that's
set up everywhere.
Yeah.
But I thought the sound in Belfast was great. Power of the Dog, West Side Story. Gosh, what do I pick for that? I'm gonna go with West Side Story.
Okay.
All right, Alan, what about you? You've seen all of them.
I will go with No Time to Die.
Interesting.
I do think the sound was really good in that. Belfast, probably a close second. Like Jennifer mentioned, really good sound. Most European films have really good sound in general.
They do.
Because they know how to use sound effects. So, how about you, Rahana? What are you thinking?
So I haven't seen Belfast yet. I do want to. But for me, it would honestly probably be between No Time to Die and West Side Story, actually. I came out of both. I mean, one, West Side Story, like, how can you not? But I thought that everything was very, like, the sound overall was just really well done. Everything was really clear. It was brilliant. I saw No Time to Die when it came out, which feels like so long ago now that I'm trying to remember it because I just saw West Side Story. I do remember like commenting about that when we left, but I think it's so faint in my memory now that I will go with West Side Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm taking a peek over at, like, obviously original score and such, and obviously it's not original in that sense. So maybe it does win this, because it's not really up for music and such.
Yeah.
Because it's a remake. So, which is also kind of like, yeah, remakes make the Oscars. So
it's a very well done remake.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was skeptical because I've seen it live, which is incredible. It's really hard, I think, once you've seen, a musical live. I mean, there's nothing better than that,
Yeah.
Right.
So you go to see the movie and it's like, oh, this isn't even gonna. I mean, I was blown away. I was just
yes.
I was blown away by the film.
I was too.
Okay.
Yeah. It was wonderful.
And it's Spielberg, so I mean, he doesn't really do small films.
Right. Right. He wouldn't have taken that on if he didn't think he could do it justice.
Right.
Believe.
And I'm thinking back, has Spielberg made musicals before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
That's interesting that he would do that then. So
such a great story.
Yeah.
Even without the music, it's just
right. All right. Next up is visual effects. Here we have Dune, Free Guy. It's now an Oscar-nominated film.
Love it.
No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man: No Way Home.
I think that these are excellent nominees for this category. Very well done on the Academy's part. Like normally I think that there's some that I'm not super in love with being nominated. And I just love that there's two Marvel movies. But I'm gonna go last because this is gonna be really hard for me. Alan, what's your pick?
This was tough for me. I went back and forth on like 3 of them, but I ultimately ended up with Dune, because it's world building and it's much better than the David Lynch one. So sorry, David Lynch, but yeah. Otherwise, it was like between the 2 Marvel films too: Spider-Man, Shang-Chi. Yeah, I feel like if there's a stunt category, those 2 would win, but I went with Dune.
I'm gonna go with Dune as well. I think Dune will take it for that one.
2 Dunes and a Rahana.
2 Dunes and a Rahana. New TV show. Oh Lord, honestly. So I've seen all of these. This is probably the only category I'll be able to say that for. So I need to call it out. I've seen all of them and I loved all of them. I would say Dune is probably my least favorite out of these 5. And I was more impressed with the visual effects on the others than I was in Dune, which is interesting. But shit. Can
I swear in this?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Totally can. Yeah.
I'm gonna start swearing then right away.
I love it.
We just got the explicit warning. So
yep. I almost always get us that. I would honestly probably say it would have to be a tie, but shit. I can't, like, this one is so hard. I'm gonna change my mind 30 times before the actual ceremony, but I'm gonna make a tie because I'm indecisive between Shang-Chi and Free Guy.
Oh, Free Guy.
I feel like for Free Guy, it was really impressive because they had like so much went into the moments of building the world and then collapsing the world and then building the world and then collapsing the world, and rebuilding and creating world in the moment where there wasn't world, and just there was so much that went into it that I thought was really impressive, that they did really well. They made it look like like real life at times and then video game at times, and I thought that they did an excellent job with that.
I like it. Yeah, I agree.
Long-winded answer.
These were all fun films for me to watch. Yeah, I agree. Like, it's a major component of that film. Take that component away, it's probably the biggest part of that film. So aside from comedy. So
right. Yeah. Without the visual effects, that, like, I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds and that's it. Nobody cares after that, but like, it's terrible. I'll still watch it because it's Ryan Reynolds, but it'll be terrible.
And I love, because this is the only time we get to talk about Free Guy. I just love when he gets the shield out and then Hulk smash. And Waititi, what's Taika Waititi.
Thank you.
When and they're just looking at the monitor like,
yep.
And he's got the big Hulk arm and just like, oh my God.
I love it. Now I need to rewatch that movie. It's so good. It's
just the pause
fun.
there right before is just kind of like a big moment where we've hit like video game territory where anything's open.
Yeah.
From like Marvel, Star Wars to you name
across the board. Yeah.
Video games. So that was fun.
Loved it.
Anyways, I like it. Okay, adapted screenplay. The nominees are Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog.
I can go first because I've only seen one of these, so I'm going to vote for it, and that's Dune. Okay. And that's it. Okay, I'm done. You guys go.
Okay, I have seen all of them. How about you, Jennifer?
I have not seen Coda. That's next on my list. And also The Lost Daughter, which I definitely want to see. So 3 of the 5. I'm going to go with Drive My Car.
Okay.
I think that, I mean, personally, of the 3, that's probably my favorite. And as far as like what I think is going to win, I think that has a really good chance. Although I hear The Lost Daughter is a really good adapted screenplay as well, but I haven't seen it, so it's kind of hard to say. So, yep, Drive My Car it is. Loved that movie.
Right, me too. I looked at my screenplay nominations and I haven't selected yet from them because it's so hard, I think I will. This is tough because it's either like I feel like it's either Drive My Car or The Power of the Dog for me. I think I'll go with Drive My Car also. I don't know how the book adaptation is, but I do like that movie a lot, so I'll just vote for that. Okay, original screenplay is next. We have Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World. I've seen all but one.
What is The Worst Person in the World?
It's I think it's Joaquin Trier film. Yeah. So it's like, I think don't want to get this wrong. It's in for international film also.
Okay, got it.
It looks pretty good. I like, that's the one film I didn't get to that I wanted to watch before the podcast, but I was streaming my brains out. So
right. A young woman battles indecisiveness as she traverses the troubled waters of her love life and struggles to find her career path. It's called 2020 through 2022, lady. Sorry, just kidding. That actually sounds very good and very interesting. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'd never heard of that before, and it sounds very intriguing.
Yeah.
So Alan, what's your pick?
Oh, I'm going.
Yeah, do it up.
You're first.
Like I said, I didn't have this marked down yet.
Oh, okay, just kidding. In that case, you
quick.
Yeah.
Rahana, you go first since,
Okay. I've seen 2 of these. Want to see Belfast. I now want to see Worst Person in the World. So I would say, I mean, both Don't Look Up and King Richard were excellent, honestly. King Richard made me cry a couple times. It was very moving. But I'm gonna have to go with Don't Look Up because I think it was just really something that needed to like come out and needed to be told in a very specific way, and they did a great job with it. And it's so relevant to like a million different pieces of the world today that it's, I mean, if it didn't slap people in the face, they weren't paying attention or they're just being stubborn. And I thought they did it in a very fun and interesting and hilarious way. So Don't Look Up.
Okay.
Jen, what's your pick?
I agree with you. Definitely Don't Look Up. Out of these, I've seen Belfast, Don't Look Up, and Licorice Pizza. Loved Belfast as well. But as far as, I don't know, just as far as the screenplay goes and the writing, I mean, Don't Look Up is just, it's so unique and original. I haven't really seen anything like it. Licorice Pizza, I felt like the director, who I really enjoy a lot of his films. Magnolia, in fact, is one of my favorite films. Top 10, I would say. But Licorice Pizza, it almost seemed like it was improv through a lot of it. Like, okay, here's the script. Oh, let's do this quick. Let's add this in. And it didn't seem, I don't know. There were things about that film and the screenplay that I just wasn't too fond of. So, and the other two I didn't see. So yeah, I'm going to go with Don't Look Up.
Okay.
And on to Alan.
On to me.
2 Don't Look Ups and an Alan.
I see what you did there. So Don't Look Up for me right now, just because I haven't seen The Worst Person in the World. It's like I want to see that so badly, but I do like Adam McKay a lot. So it's between those two, really. I mean, just because I haven't seen The Worst Person in the World, I'll have to say Don't Look Up. But asterisk.
That's okay. That's the first one we've all agreed on.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
First
Boom. Nailed it.
I think Jennifer has a good point there. So do you. It's just like it's however, I mean, the film for me, at least, like halfway through, kind of loses its wind a bit. So
interesting.
We'll speak more to that later, I'm sure, once we get to Best Picture. All right. Documentary feature. We have Ascension, Attica, Flee, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, and Writing with Fire. I have seen 2, being Flee and Summer of Soul. How about you 2?
I've seen 0, which should not be a surprise to anyone. How about you?
I'm ashamed to say that I have not seen any of them either, because I love documentaries and I mean to get to them, but just haven't yet. So that would just be a guess. So I don't even know if I want to guess.
Yeah, guess.
Yeah.
Guess based on what you're...
Based on the name.
Like all Academy members. No.
Right, yeah.
Because they're all working, right? I'd assume they're all working, though.
I know what Attica and Summer of Soul are about. The others, I don't even know what they're about. So I'm going to go with Summer of Soul.
Okay, that is a good doc.
That's my guess.
Like 50 plus years since it was filmed to when it was actually shown here. It's quite the achievement to be held out that long.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I was like watching it. It's just kind of like, even like, I guess my parents told me about it. They wanted to see it because it's from their era, you know. 60 summer of 69. So
So is that your pick then? Oh, I don't know what any of these are about except what you just said about that being from Summer '69.
You have to guess. I had to guess.
You're right. Writing with Fire.
Okay.
Because that sounds cool. Which probably means that it's a terribly depressing documentary or something, because I just said that. So
yeah.
So come on, Alan. What's your pick?
I just finished Flea before the podcast.
Oh, wow.
Like I watched those two back to back. So it was just kind of like, okay, try to get through more films, at 2 hours a pop. It's like
a lot.
Unless it's Drive My Car, which is 3 hours.
Yes.
Yes, that was 3 hours. Although it was actually interesting enough that it didn't feel like it. So at times. So I think I will. This is tough between those two, again with an asterisk. I'll go Summer of Soul. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Sounds like that one wins.
I have not seen any of the documentary short subject, but the nominees are Audible, Lead Me Home, The Queen of Basketball, 30 Songs for Benazer, and When We Were Bullies. Strictly based on titles, I will go with The Queen of Basketball.
Sure.
I did see one of these. I saw Lead Me Home, which is about the homeless crisis in California. And I thought it was very well done. Very sad. I just I remember from living there, the horrible homeless crisis, but now it's gotten so much worse. And I think it was 35 or 40 minutes long, that film. And I mean, you could really do a full length series on the subject matter.
Yeah.
Right.
And so anyways, I found that very interesting and that's the only one I've seen though. So I guess I will vote for that one.
I like it.
Yeah. Rahana.
I'm going to pull an Audible. I get it. There we go. Yeah. I'm so dumb. I'll go with that one just for fun.
Well, you have to go with that.
Just for the pun of it all. Yeah, I'll do it.
And may I say, from last year's Oscars, I forget, it was one of the short the winner of one of the shorts that went on for like 10 minutes during the thing. And then everyone else at the end had to hurry up, get off because we're losing airtime. And it's just like,
there's always one.
Yeah, that's what did it. That was the domino that affected everything down the line. And I'm like, a short subject person should be able to give a speech shorter than their film,
It's a very good point.
Or a thank you speech or whatever, just, Anyways, just my 2 cents. I'm sure if I won a short Academy Award, I would just keep going too. But okay. I'd like to thank Rahana Power, Jennifer Prettyman, and my mom and dad.
I would like to thank all of the people. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Let's see. Film editing. The next one is, the nominees are Don't Look Up, Dune, or as Quentin says, Dune. Remember that? When he, on that podcast, we had Quentin, he's French. So when he says Dune, it sounds like Dune. When he said it the first time, I was like, what film?
I think it's funny that we've said Dune 70 times, and this is the first time that it's triggered that in your brain.
No, it's been there.
Oh, has it?
It's always been there.
It's all of a sudden now come out.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it just happened, and I was like,
this is for film editing, so we need to edit stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
I like it.
And King Richard is also a nominee. The Power of the Dog, and Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yeah. I really want to see Tick, Tick, Boom. I haven't yet, but I've heard fantastic things about it.
Mm-hmm.
That had nothing to do with the category. I just really wanted to say that.
Yeah. On Netflix.
What's your pick?
So I have seen 3 of these. I really want to see Tick, Tick, Boom. I'm sure that the editing is fantastic. I'm sure everything's fantastic. But having only seen Don't Look Up, Dune, and King Richard, I am going to go with Don't Look Up. I feel like the editing process there probably had to take just so much more, like more intense detail and refinement. And I mean, editing in general, like huge props to every editor, because the patience and skill that you have to have for that is far more than I can ever even imagine having. But I just feel like Don't Look Up, it like there seemed like there was just so much to have to do and piece together and get everything just right throughout the whole thing. So I'm going Don't Look Up.
Okay. I've seen all of them. I personally will pick Tick, Tick, Boom. I feel like the editing, like there's a lot of back and forth from like sort of present day to like the past, and it did it so well that you never were lost when they did that, and they did it so frequently. It was just kind of like, this would be hard to keep track of. So there's other filmmakers that do that, like, you know, that kind of jump around on the timeline of things. I think Nolan might be one, like Dunkirk comes to mind. So I'll pick Tick, Tick, Boom.
I like it.
I haven't seen Tick, Tick, Boom yet, but definitely on my list. So I'm going to go with The Power of the Dog on this one.
Okay.
Interesting. What makes you lean towards that one?
You know, the shots in this film, and I know that's more cinematography, but I mean, they were beautiful, and they were, I feel like the editing would have been challenging just because of the way it was filmed, the way it was shot, because that was such an important part of the film, the editing. So I'm going to go with that. What you were saying about Tick, Tick, Boom, I get what you're saying. Like, so, you know, that's a possibility, but I guess since I haven't seen it, I'll stick with Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
I like it.
There's a reason it's nominated, so
yeah. 3 answers on that one.
What you said about Don't Look Up as well, like, yeah, I could totally see that getting it as well. But hey, we all picked 3 different things this time.
Yeah. And
we've got a chance.
Well, wait for this one. International feature film. So the nominees are Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Luana, A Yak in the Classroom, The Worst Person in the World. I have seen one. I've seen 2. Flea's in there, so which is interesting. So it's in animated, international, and doc. Those are the,
and that's a whole nother conversation right there. How can the same film be in various categories, and is that fair?
It is
weird that it's in animation and doc. And I say that having not seen it. I'm sure seeing it makes that very clear. But having not seen it and not knowing what it's about, that confuses me.
Right. Well, the plot of the film is really about this young man who is gay, who lives in Afghanistan, and he has to escape Afghanistan and he's being smuggled from country to country, trying to get out of harm's way, basically. So that's kind of the gist of it. And it's animated to probably, take away some of the intensity of it. Plus, you can't really document that other than,
that's a good point,
kind of more of a memoir type of film, sort of, but animated. So
wow, interesting.
Yeah.
See, now it makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, good film. I wanted to see The Worst Person in the World and ran out of time. But I will go with Drive My Car. So there.
How about you, Jen?
So Drive My Car is the only one I've seen of these. And I could definitely, well, although how can I say I haven't seen the others, but I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. So I could see how it has a good chance of winning International Feature Film. So yep, Drive My Car it is.
Nice. I have seen none of these again. And so I'm going to go with The Worst Person in the World because the description that I've read makes me very interested. And so I feel like I would probably pick that anyway.
I'm intrigued. I am.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this next category, though.
It's fun. You want to read it out?
No, I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I just think it's a fun one.
You are doing a phenomenal job, Ellen.
See?
Okay. Well, the next category is makeup and hairstyling.
Woo!
The nominees are Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, yeah, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci.
All right, Ellen, how many of these have you seen?
I've seen 3. I haven't seen Cruella or Coming to America yet. Again, ran out of time. So,
How about you, Jen? How many have you seen?
I've seen Dune and The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Okay. What is your pick out of those two, or what you like at least know of the others?
So, I've seen clips of the others. But I'm going to go with The Eyes of Tammy Faye. I thought they did such a great job depicting her look and the others with makeup and hairstyling. It was pretty incredible. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay. Well,
how about you, Ellen?
I did not see House of Gucci. Sorry, I only seen 2. So I agree. I will go with The Eyes of Tammy Faye because Jessica Chastain's look changes so drastically from the beginning to the end, and you see all those transformations along the way throughout her entire life. So yeah, I agree. The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
I have only seen Dune. I actually want to see all of these. But like having watched the trailers for all of these multiple times, because I'm a weirdo, and and at least like knowing what they are and what the makeup and hairstyling looks like. Jessica Chastain actually posted on Instagram. It's like one of those like really fast videos of like having her entire look put on and done and like the whole routine, and then also taken off not long ago.
Wow.
And oh man, that looked intense. I cannot imagine how long that actually took them. Because I mean, it's a 60-second quick, like super fast video, but I was like, the stuff that they're doing to make her, go from Jessica Chastain to Tammy Faye is insane. So I haven't even seen it, and I'm totally in agreement.
Yeah. All right. We all agree. Good. Woo!
I'll agree again. Yeah, even her body image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As she got older, I mean, everything. When I first heard she was playing that character, I was like, oh, come on.
Right.
I mean, but yeah, she's incredible, and the hair and makeup.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max, so check that out. All right. Next category is original score. This we have the nominees as Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of the Dog. I have not seen Parallel Mothers. I think that's the only one.
I don't think I know what Parallel Mothers is.
It has Penelope Cruz and I forget who the other actress is.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen a trailer for that. That's very interesting.
Right. If you want to rent it, it's $20.
Wild. If you want to rent it, it's $20. If you want to buy it, it's $22. What?
You can't buy it. No.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. When you can,
they don't want you to rent it or see it ever, apparently. So
yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. We're going to make money off of someone.
Right. Jen, have you seen Parallel Mothers or Encanto?
I haven't seen those two. I have not. And so with the three that I have seen, I would go with The Power of the Dog.
All right. Alan?
I can't even remember the score to The Power of the Dog. I guess maybe I wasn't paying attention to that at the time. Because it's Benedict Cumberbatch, so it's like, and Jesse Plemons, and it's just, yeah. And it's kind of like what is that, like, I forget the year, the era it's in. It's kind of like early 1800s, right? I think
there was a lot of quiet time though, and long
exactly
chats, and so you had the music. So how could you have forgotten that?
I forgot. I mean, I've digested so many films in 1 week. It's just been like
that's They're true.
All running together.
Yeah, didn't this happen in one of these films? Yeah, I was remembering something from a film, and I'm like, what was that from? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm losing track now. Let's see. Gosh, I guess original score. I think I will go with Dune on this one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a fan of the low end, and Dune has a lot of that, mostly from sound effects, not the score probably, but yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna go with Encanto. I loved every single thing about that movie. 100% Encanto for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
and if
movie.
Anyone hasn't seen it, highly recommend it. I have literally favorited songs from that on my Spotify playlist because they're so good. Like Lin-Manuel Miranda can do absolutely no wrong. He's incredible, and yeah, you just got to give it to him.
Okay.
I have to see that.
Yeah. All right, original song then. Be Alive from King Richard. Dos Oruguitas from Encanto. Down to Joy from Belfast. No Time to Die from No Time to Die. And Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days. I listened to these songs.
Oh, that's a good. Why did I not do that? Alan, that's like 20 minutes of someone's life. That's so easy. God, yeah. Just the worst. You guys, I should not be on a podcast. This is so dumb.
YouTube, Rohana.
No. I know. It's called Spotify. It's called anything. The internet.
Apple Music is surprisingly hard to find these.
Right.
Anyways.
Like you could probably just Google these and they would just pop up. But anyway, I digress. Encanto. I did love No Time to Die.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was very well done. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I liked that the song, but definitely Encanto.
Okay. what you just said, I mean, about Encanto for score, that just kind of makes me think it's going to win. But
so
I do like No Time to Die also. I mean, I did like Be Alive also. That's Beyonce, so I mean, how could you not?
Yeah, which is amazing. So good.
I pick No Time to Die from No Time to Die.
Love it.
Yeah, I think No Time to Die is going to win.
You think Billie Eilish is going to take it, huh?
I think original song is a weird category because when I look back throughout the years, some really bad songs have won. Or just
Yeah.
really like you'd go, why?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad song, but I just feel like that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's the bad song that's going to win? Is that what you're saying?
Well, not really, but
upset some Billie Eilish fans in here.
I actually like the song. I just, I guess when you think of something being best, you think it's supposed to just be extraordinary. You know what I mean? And you look back, and it's some of the songs are just kind of average.
Yeah.
And like somehow You Do from 4 Good Days, I don't even know.
It was a short year for films, I guess, or songs. I don't
know. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, I think we have our picks in. So
yeah.
All right, we'll move over to directing.
This is Alan's jam right here.
Yeah. Okay, directing, the nominees are Belfast, Drive My Car, Licorice Pizza, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story.
I can go first. I've seen one of these, so I'm gonna pick it. West Side Story. I do think that the directing with that was very good. I feel like if I had seen Belfast, which I want to, that might be a contender for me. Because I just really like the way that, like, the clips and the trailer that I've seen. I love the way that looks, but I have only fully seen West Side Story, so that gets it.
Jennifer.
This is really difficult.
Yes.
Really difficult. This is probably the most difficult category for me, anyways. Because, oh my goodness. So I've seen them all. Honestly, I could see Belfast getting it. I think it's going to be a toss-up between Belfast and The Power of the Dog.
Oh.
For some reason, I don't think Spielberg would win for West Side Story. I just, not that he shouldn't. Like,
right.
I would love it if he won for West Side Story, but I just don't see that happening. I think there's a good chance that The Power of the Dog or Belfast are going to win Best Picture. And you know how that goes. Often it's one of the directors. So I think it.
They've split it the last 2 years.
Well, that's true sometimes, but more often than not, anyways. So do I have to pick one, or can I say one, either one?
Well, you said Power of the Dog and Belfast. You're kind of on the fence about. I mean, they only let one person win, I think. Who would you want? Jane Campion or Kenneth Branagh?
I guess my personal choice, Kenneth Branagh.
Okay.
That's my choice. But who's going to win could be either one of those, I think.
Okay.
Our picks are the real picks. They're wrong.
Right
here. You should just listen to us.
Yeah, this one's tough because all the films are, different, so
Very
different.
Mm-hmm.
Because they kind of all win for their genres.
But wouldn't it be more difficult if they were all the same?
Yeah, I mean, you have some. I mean, there are some that are. If you think about it, with the exception of Drive My Car, you could say the others are coming of age stories, if you will, which is kind of that Hollywood fascination. Gosh.
So what's your favorite, and then which one do you think is more likely to win?
Yeah.
See, like when I think about the film, though, I think Licorice Pizza would have been the hardest to make the way they, the way it was assembled. So that Rahana, did you have something to say about Licorice Pizza?
I'm saving it for Best Picture.
Well, you're saving it.
We're ending on a very contentious note.
Oh boy. I really love Drive My Car. It's just of these films, I think that's kind of the one I would want to win. I think it's going to be Licorice Pizza.
Really?
That's disappointing.
Yeah. You think?
I'm just looking at the way the films are made, and you're dealing with a bunch of kids, and it's just like, yeah, that's how I think it'll go. But
all right. So your pick, Drive My Car. What you think the Academy will pick, Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same Academy that picked Nomadland, so
that's right.
Yeah, there we go.
Nothing wrong with Chloe Zhao, but what's that?
No, sorry, I wasn't meaning about her. I was meaning about the film in general. Sorry, that was. If nobody listened to this episode last year, they would have no idea why I just said that.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, Jennifer, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying I loved Nomadland. Speaking of,
you loved it.
I loved it.
I did not.
No.
No.
And I refused to watch it.
Well, you refused to watch Taika Waititi's film, and you ended up kind of okay with that. So.
I actually really liked that, but I watched it like 3 years or 2 years after it came
so
out.
Maybe you'll really love one of these films. Anyways,
Ellen, why didn't you like Nomadland? I'm just curious.
Oh, so bad. Boring.
Really?
One thing I don't like is don't be boring. And I thought it was going to end 3 times, and it didn't. And I was like, there's no way they're going to end this right now. This is like a 2.5 hour film or something. And I felt like it was going to end 3 different times.
Huh.
Yeah, it was just not my type of film. That's all. Yeah.
Didn't you like the fact though that most of the characters were actual nomads and
that's not acting. That's just like a documentary. I mean,
it was so interesting, their stories and their lifestyle and
I suppose if you want to put that in a doc, but as a feature film, I mean,
I love it. Let's get controversial.
All right, we'll just agree to disagree on that one, Alan. I still love it.
I agree to disagree. Yes. So less controversial costume design. We would go with the nominees of Cruella Serrano. Is that
Cyrano?
Dune, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story.
All right, Alan.
You go first on this. Yeah, I'll take a wild stab at West Side Story. Get it, stab. Yeah. Little stabby film.
That was good.
Yeah, well done.
But I mean, Dune, Nightmare Alley, I think honorable mentions there. So,
So you think West Side Story will win?
Yeah, that's my pick.
All right, Jen, how about you?
I think it's between Nightmare Alley and West Side Story, for sure. I shouldn't say for sure, because then when I'm wrong, I'm gonna look really bad. I'm gonna go with Nightmare Alley.
All right.
Okay.
I again have only seen West Side Story and Dune, but having seen trailers for these and knowing what the costume design looks like, I'm actually going to go with Cyrano. It looks like they did a fantastic job. I'm very intrigued, and I know this has nothing to do with costume design, but I mean, how can you bet against anything that involves Peter Dinklage? So I'm
no
going
betting against Peter Dinklage.
Right. Yeah. He's in it. He signed on. So it's definitely tens across the board. I'm going Cyrano.
Okay. I did not see that or Cruella yet. So, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Cruella. It looks good, though.
All right. On to cinematography. The nominees are Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story.
Whew.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, this category makes me sad that I haven't seen Tragedy of Macbeth, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that would be really good here.
Yeah, that's the only one I haven't seen out of these.
I've seen them all. You two go first.
Well, since you've seen them all, you should go first, and then we can go off of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on.
Alan says.
Let's see.
Seriously.
Yeah. I think it's more because I'm a fan of this type of look, and it's kind of classical, so I do like Nightmare Alley for this.
Mm-hmm.
The colors and like the noir look. So that kind of gets me more excited. I mean, Dune is kind of like that, but not really. It's more modern.
It's just brown and sand.
You're still on that sand. Yeah.
And brown.
It's called spice. No.
Yes.
I mean, that's brown spice. Accurate.
Brown spice. Yeah, Nightmare Alley, I think, was just like a visual feast, kind of, if you will.
Yes.
I think West Side Story has that similar tone in terms of saturation and color. But I think Nightmare Alley just kind of does it more for me. Just my preference. So I'll say Nightmare Alley.
All right.
All right, who's
Jen? Jen, you're next. Oh yeah.
My pick is Nightmare Alley as well. I think it's just brilliant cinematography. Just absolutely gorgeous. Who will win? I think it has a good chance of winning, but I think Power of the Dog also has some really beautiful cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a good chance that one could win, but I'm definitely going with Nightmare Alley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So not having seen three of these that I'm sure are excellent in this category, my pick is very 2 cents. I mean, I loved the cinematography in both Dune and West Side Story, to be honest, but I mean, I trust you guys on Nightmare Alley, and I just feel like I would have really deeply appreciated the cinematography of The Tragedy of Macbeth. So I'm gonna do a twist pick and pick that one, Tragedy of Macbeth.
Okay,
I like it.
Nice.
Oh, and did you notice like pretty much everything Guillermo del Toro does, the cinematography is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can't think of a film where it just it's just just beautiful.
Yeah, and he wanted to do something different with this, obviously, being noir-like, not like he's classically known for like his monsters and such.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the lighting in this is very, old, if you will, and like the way lighting used to be back in those days. So
classic.
Very candlelit and
mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, classic. Yeah. All right, animated feature film. Here we go. The nominees are Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon.
So I'll go first on this one because it's really simple. I haven't seen any of them. I've seen all the animated shorts, but none of the features. Something about my attention span with animated things. I enjoy animated films, so I just haven't seen any of them yet. But I'm gonna guess Encanto just because. So that's it.
Yeah.
It's almost unfair because 3 of them are Disney. I mean,
yeah,
or 2 Disney, 1 Pixar, the same,
I agree. I've only seen Encanto. I would definitely see Luca. I would like to see Raya and the Last Dragon. I've heard good things about both of them, but I genuinely, I didn't think that I would care about Encanto. My sister got me to watch it, and I watched it and I fell absolutely in love with it. Like, it's so good on every level. And I just can't imagine any of the others being quite at that same level for me.
I think Alan is going to pick Flea. Am I right?
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, I've seen Encanto, Flea, Luca, and Raya and the Last Dragon.
Dang.
I did not catch Mitchell's versus the Machines.
What is that?
So I can't speak to that. My personal favorite will be Raya and the Last Dragon.
I was wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain yourself, sir.
I just love the action, the strong female leads, and it's just reminds me of a film I did recently, right, Jennifer?
Does it remind you of that?
Yeah, just because it's like the protagonist and the antagonist are both female, and it's like, yeah, you gotta duke it out. Who's gonna win? So,
cool.
Yeah.
All right then.
And how can you go wrong with Gemma Chan and Aquafina, Kelly Marie Tran? So
that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna get into like the big dogs.
Okay. The acting categories. We'll start with actress in the supporting role. The nominees are Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judi Dench for Belfast, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Ajanou Ellis for King Richard. Ajanou.
All right, Jen, I'm going to have you go first on this one.
So I've seen 3 of the 5. Gosh, Ariana was amazing in that role. I would love to see her get it. Judi Dench is always fantastic, and it was a good role. Kirsten Dunst was good in The Power of the Dog, but of those 3 that I've seen, I would definitely say Ariana DeBose for West Side Story.
Nice.
I'm going with that.
Okay.
Yes. I agree. So I think all of these women are fantastic. I would probably say it's between, for me, Ariana DeBose, and I'm so disappointed that I don't know how to say her name properly. Ajanou Elise, or Ellis, who plays the Venus and Serena's mom in King Richard. Incredible performance, fantastic. She's one of the reasons that I cried in that movie.
Yes.
Damn, it just, yeah. But And I mean, I haven't seen the others, so I don't know. But so I would say it's between them, but I would probably go towards Ariana DeBose. Because I loved every like thing that she brought to that role. I thought she did an incredible job.
Yeah, I mean it's an incredible character to play.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't imagine anyone doing it better than she.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, this was a close one for me. Ariana DeBose and Ingenue Ellis. So
Mhm.
I personally went Ingenue Ellis.
Okay.
I just feel like her scene with Will Smith in the kitchen scene.
Yes.
That was a big moment.
Oh.
And I think that's worthy of an Oscar supporting role. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right, actress in a leading role.
Whew.
We have Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter, not The Last Daughter.
There are more.
Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman, Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart, not to be confused with Kirsten Dunst down there, for Spencer.
So Spencer is one of the movies that I am actually really disappointed I haven't seen yet. I have wanted to see that since the first like teaser trailer came out. We've discussed it on the podcast a few times with my like obsession with The Crown, but I have a fascination with that family that I have no business having. And so I find that film very intriguing. And from the trailers that I've seen, it looks like she does just an impeccable job. And I think that that's something that like we've seen a lot from her. And I mean, she has her critics and people bash on her for all sorts of things, but I feel like this is a big step for her showing like, F you, everyone. I can do this shit and I can do it well. Take me seriously. And I feel like she, from just the little clips and trailers that I've seen, seems to nail it. So I'm going to go with Kristen Stewart.
Nice. I'll go next. Seen all except for Penelope Cruz's Parallel Mothers. Again, $20. Go rent it. It's only $20. It's like, really? You're just okay.
Maybe we should all get together and watch it.
There we go. Yeah.
Put a pool. Yeah, pool of money in.
Yeah. Perfect.
A watch party or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked Jessica Chastain a lot, but I will have to go with Kristen Stewart because I did see Spencer. It's on Hulu right now. So yeah, I think since this is the only time we get to talk about Spencer, yeah, I'm gonna have to spoil a bit here.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm literally just like cutting down the podcast for my own self-interest.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Ellen. Go ahead.
Do you mind, Jennifer, if I spoil?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but
okay. I would say rent it before buying, just because, or watch on Hulu, obviously, just because I was really excited to see her in this too, and I see why it's not up for more because of the way the film was written. But she did fantastic in it, and it was just kind of like, if only the film were better, you know?
Oh,
do you think it was not true to the actual story in that way, or?
Well, it wasn't that it wasn't true to the story. It's just that when we really get to see her that way is more like in the third act. So until then, it's kind of a muted performance, and I'm just kind of like, that's a weird choice, but okay.
So the writing wasn't really there,
right?
Yeah.
So
she's an interesting actress. She's very versatile. I'm actually quite surprised at her versatility in different roles that I've seen her in. And she has that, screw you kind of attitude. I'm going to do what I want and I don't care what you think. And I just care about my craft, and that's what matters. And I like that.
Yeah.
Me too.
And like I said, Jessica Chastain's close second for me on this. So that's all I have.
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
All I got. Well, I think Jessica Chastain is definitely going to win this one. I just I just feel it. That speaking of versatile, she just blows my mind. I mean, just from seeing her over the years evolve. Like I said earlier, I never would have seen her playing Tammy Faye.
Right?
There's just no way. And she just nailed it. You know, she can do accents. She can do, I mean, I just think she's extremely talented. And in this role is just unbelievable. So I'm going with Jessica.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah. She is definitely extraordinary.
And you got Andrew Garfield in there too, playing opposite her. So it's just like
so good.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's in that?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Now I'm extra interested.
Oh yeah, you have to see it. It's so entertaining too.
Yeah.
Just watch it and it's over. It's just like boom. Oh wow.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Actor in a supporting role.
Kieran?
So, is that what? Kieran Hines?
Yep.
Of Belfast. Troy Kotsur of Coda. Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog. J.K. Simmons being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith McPhee, The Power of the Dog. I think that just splits the vote right there for Power of the Dog. So neither of them are going to win.
Yeah, which is unfortunate when they do that.
Okay. I'm not. I like Jesse Plemons, but in that role, I don't see. I don't get it why he was nominated for that. Like Cody, yeah, absolutely. But that's just my take.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, who do you think will win? Or who is your pick to win if it was your choice, Jen?
So I didn't see being the Ricardos. I love J.K. Simmons though. Like he's fantastic in everything he does. So I'm sure he was great in it. I love Lucille Ball.
Yeah, me too.
I've been hesitant about seeing it just because of that.
Yeah.
So I didn't see his performance, but I will see it. I heard it was pretty well done. Yeah, definitely not Jesse. That was just kind of a very pan-faced role. I didn't see Coda. Really need to see that one still. Where's it playing? Like I couldn't.
Apple TV.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah. Apple TV Plus, the subscription service, so you can get it on other devices too, like Roku,
which is only $5 a month.
Okay, so I can't do it for $20. We can get together and
rented a room.
Yeah.
But Kieran for Belfast, he was fantastic. But again, Cody Smith McPhee from Power of the Dog was really, what a bizarre role that was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, didn't you, when you start watching it, go, wow, that kid is strange. You know what I mean? And as it went on, it's like, and then without ruining anything, because you haven't seen it, right? So at the end, you know, you're just like, really?
Yeah.
And he
that's it.
He pulled it off because you wouldn't have thought that. So again though, J.K. I mean, who I think could get it, I'm gonna guess that J.K. Simmons gets it.
You think so, huh?
I think, and again, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But Did you see Coda, Helen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen all of these.
What do you think of?
I think Troy Kotsur, I think that's how you say it. I think he's gonna win.
You think? Okay.
Yeah, he plays the dad in the film. It says he's been deaf since birth, and he's a deaf actor, and he plays a deaf role in this film. The whole family, except for the daughter, is.
Oh.
So it's very interesting. I'll have some words in the best picture about Coda, but I thought he did great. I mean, he's acted like a dad. He is deaf, so he knows all the signs, and for me, I think that was a really strong performance for a supporting role. So
okay,
that's my pick.
Well, you know what? Can I change mine? I think I think he might win as well, because I think he's the only male hearing impaired actor who's ever been nominated for something. I mean, I know Marilyn Matlin won. Oh gosh, when was that? In the 80s, I think she won Best Actress or Supporting Actress. Was it?
Who was it? For what?
Marilyn Matlin.
Okay.
She's deaf and she won, but I don't think there's ever been. So that would be.
She's in Coda also.
Is she really?
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I didn't know that. Okay, I'm changing. I'm going with him.
Okay.
Love it. I've seen none of these, so that's very unhelpful of me. I love Kieran Hines.
Yeah.
But Troy Kotzer sounds like, I mean, that's probably a he nailed it kind of situation. So I'm gonna go with either of those. Huge asterisks. I haven't seen either, so I'm just taking a wild guess.
Yeah. I guess she Marilee Matlin, Jennifer, she plays the mom. So
okay.
Yeah.
And she's great.
I liked her in this. I was kind of surprised she wasn't nominated. It's like, oh, okay, he's nominated, but she's not. Okay.
Maybe because she won before, so no.
Right.
Kind of thing. How they do that.
Right. Although didn't J.K. Simmons win for supporting in what was that movie?
Whiplash?
Yeah, Whiplash.
Oh.
Did he get supporting or did he get lead?
Supporting, because it was Miles Teller at the lead, so he won.
I thought they were both. Oh,
I don't know. I know J.K. Simmons won. And I think it was for supporting.
Oh, is that right? Okay, then he
probably
won't win for this one then.
Well, but Mahershala Ali keeps winning Best Supporting anytime he does supporting. So
okay, but he's also amazing.
yeah, exactly.
Not that J.K. Simmons isn't, but
see, 2 Oscars supporting good. No.
Yeah.
So Rahana, we're ponying up behind Troy here, right? Behind Coda for that.
Yeah, I'm going either him or Kieran. I don't like. It's one of them. It's definitely gonna be one of them. I think, It's definitely. She thinks. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be one of those 5. I'm pretty sure.
Good idea. Yeah.
I'm doubling up on Troy and Kieran because I'm a cheater and I've seen none of them.
Okay, that's fair. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, actor in a leading role. The nominees are Javier Bardem, being the Ricardos.
Bardem.
Yes. Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog. Andrew Garfield, Tick, Tick, Boom. Will Smith, King Richard. And Denzel Washington, The Tragedy of Macbeth.
All right, Alan. I know you've seen them all.
Yes.
What are your thoughts, man?
Boy, Denzel really lights up a Shakespeare screen, let me tell you. He made it interesting when it's normally boring to me. Shakespeare, I go to sleep so easily. It's just all the.
Won twice.
What's that?
Hasn't he already won twice though?
I know he won for Training Day. What else he was nominated before. I can't remember if he won twice.
Hmm.
Did he win for? Oh, I mean, God, he's done so many things that he could be nominated and win for. I don't know. I feel like he has won a couple times, deservedly so.
And then
Anyway,
Will
sorry.
Smith. Will Smith was excellent. King Richard. I mean, the driver of that film, and the van. Andrew Garfield, Tick Tick Boom, plays the original author of the
Rent
playwright. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Benedict Cumberbatch. One of my favorite actors. Javier Bardem, of course. I will pick Will Smith because I think he did excellent in that role, like all the little mannerisms and eccentricities. So I will go with Will Smith.
Nice. Jen, how about you?
I have only seen one, Power of the Dog, and Benedict Cumberbatch was wonderful in that role. It was very different from the other roles I've seen him play. Very unlikable character, which is weird for him. So the others I just haven't seen, so it's really hard for me to even pick. I don't think Denzel will win just because he's won. Javier Bardem. Oh, Ellen, how did he do as Ricky, in your opinion?
He did okay. I mean, not spot on though. So
okay, yeah. Probably not him. And
right,
Will Smith, I heard he was really good in that. Andrew Garfield, I mean, I'm gonna go with Benedict Cumberbatch just because he hasn't won and he's done so much good work that I could kind of see them giving it to him. So, okay, I'm gonna go with
that. Well, side note, Denzel is won for Best Supporting for Glory and Best Actor for Training Day.
Okay, yep. See, he has won twice. Yep. So I don't know. It'd probably be pretty rare for him to win again.
I feel like he would deserve it though.
Yeah, it's kind of sad the way a lot of that goes.
Yeah.
This person won't win because, and this person will because of that. And it should just go by the role, by their performance. But there's a lot of politics involved. So
yeah. I've only seen one of these. But after like hearing a lot about all of these films and again, seeing trailers, seeing clips, things like that. I agree that Will Smith did an incredible job. He was fantastic. Alan, I'm echo everything that you said. Like all of the little like refined mannerisms that he had and way that he walked and talked and everything was just so not him. He was their dad. Like it was so well done. And I mean, Will Smith he's just fucking good at that. Like it's incredible. Right. I feel like if I saw Tragedy in Macbeth, I would probably just be like, just give Denzel everything. Love him and love, that story. So it's, I am disappointed I haven't seen that yet. I've again heard absolutely astounding things about Andrew Garfield and Tick Tick Boom. Like just nothing bad about him and that performance. I love Javier Bardem. I love Benedict Cumberbatch. And it sounds like Benedict Cumberbatch did a really good job playing something completely new. Having said that, I think that Benedict Cumberbatch will win because of politics. I would love for either Will Smith or Andrew Garfield to win.
Yeah.
Like, that's who I want to have win. But
Will Smith's come a long way from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, huh?
yeah, he's amazing. Oh my gosh.
I worked as an extra on that.
Really?
Which
back in the
season?
day. Yeah, I was just a kid. I don't even remember.
How about year?
Have I seen it?
Well, what was the scene you were a part of or whatever?
So it was the scene was Carlton had taken drugs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He took speed or something.
Well,
yeah, we know this.
Love the show. Love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I was at the dance with some other kids and he's dancing all crazy, doing all
yeah.
You remember that scene? And I was like right there. So
oh my gosh.
Oh,
that's awesome.
I'm going directly to that episode to check it out.
100%.
Are you in the background?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exciting.
We have to find you.
Yeah. Let me know if you see me, pause it or something, take a screen.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so awesome.
Carlton was really fun. He was really nice. I talked to him a little bit. And I just made a joke about me being a better dancer than him because I used to do dancing and stuff. And he just laughed. And I don't think I talked to Will, but he seemed, I mean, he was telling jokes and seemed like he was a lot of fun, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. You really love to hear that about like people who you assume are like really fun and just kind and like normal, like down to earth people. So I love that.
Yeah. Everybody on set was very cool.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, how cool.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, Alan. I think we got one left, my friend.
Yeah, the big one.
Whew.
All right. Best Picture.
And it's got 17 million nominees these days. Everything else is 5, and this is like
way too many. I don't know why they ever.
10
I don't know why they
films.
ever went to 10.
They expanded this year to 10. I think last year it was 8 or 7, or I can't remember.
But it was like several years ago where they said, okay, you can do up to 10. So it's not like every year.
Oh.
10. But before it was only 5, and they should have left it as only 5 because since then it's kind of like they just throw things in there like, oh, we got to have more. And they don't need to have more and they shouldn't have more. But
is it good for the Academy or bad? What do you guys think?
Bad.
Yeah. I think it's unnecessary. Like if you want to go with like more, like every other category is 5. If you want to go like 6 or 7, I'm all in. I think that they don't necessarily need more nominees. I think they need to be better at picking their nominees for this category.
Oh, definitely.
I think that's what they need to do. They need to focus on that. If they did their jobs properly, they wouldn't need 10. And I'm clearly getting really feisty right now. Like, that's my thoughts. Anyway, Alan, what about you?
I'm sure all the crews and casts of all 10 films would argue differently because they all think they're deserving, perhaps.
Right. I'm not saying any of these are like shit because obviously I could never, like, these are obviously very like well-made, well-deserved, hard work. Everyone that works on these, like, I'm in no way being that person. We're like, I could make a better movie. No, I can't. I'm aware of that. I cannot. Having said that, when you're comparing them to each other and not something I would make, that's when I get a little, that's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And these are ranked voted. So we usually end up with everyone's number 2 or 3. So that's why the last few years kind of been like,
Yeah.
Sometimes, not always. I think Parasite was a hands down option. But yeah. So I mean, you can rank these if you want. How do you guys want to go about it? Do you want to do a ranking, or do you want to do just your best picture ish, or maybe the top 5?
I've only seen 4 of them.
Oh, well, so you have a top 4.
We can go with the top 4. And then I could tell you what my number 10 will be. But other than that, I can't go much further in detail from that. But I will let Jen pick.
So I've seen 8 of the 10.
Okay, that's good. We know you haven't seen Coda.
No.
And King Richard, right?
And King Richard.
Yeah. King Richard. Okay.
So King Richard, I am able to see and will. Coda, I don't know.
Yes. My opinion about Coda, since you two haven't seen it, it feels like a TV movie.
Oh.
So okay. I don't know why it's in the best picture. That's just maybe how I perceived it, is in terms of watching the film back. I think they shot it at a different frame rate. By like watching the way the motion is on the screen, and I have my TV calibrated because all the other films look normal, but or cinematic 24 frames, but this looked like it may have been shot at 60 frames per second or something like that. And they played it back, and it's just kind of like, this is weird, it looks weird, but that may have been because of the sign language or something.
Maybe, yeah.
That's my guess, because like if you have motion blur on a sign language and you can't tell what it is, like this with Zoom, it's like
yeah,
you wouldn't know. So I guess that makes sense. Or maybe it was a shutter angle, something looked different. Just that's my filmmaker brain, though. I was just like, whenever they weren't in sign language, it didn't make sense. But I guess with sign language, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. But I did see the ending coming a mile away, so it was just kind of like, for me, yeah. That's my 2 cents on Coda.
Oh, too predictable. That really ruins it when things no element of surprise.
No.
Or even if you could predict it, but you're so engrossed in the story and what's happening in the moment that you don't even think to predict it. You're like, I don't even know or care about what's happening 10, 20, 30 minutes from now, because this moment is so enthralling. So even if it is a predictable ending, not even having the sense to like, I want to, like, I'm assuming this is going to happen because you're just like so zoned in.
Right.
But if it's not even that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even that, because they had this moment kind of near middle-ish point where I thought they were going to like resolve it in that way, but they didn't. And then they saved it for the end. And I was like, well, okay. Kind of saw that coming because you built it up in this moment. And then it's like, okay.
That's unfortunate.
And I was less surprised by it. So I don't know. Anyways.
So what's your number 1 and number 10 movie?
Oh, should we do it that way? Do you think?
Yeah, I think that's kind of fun.
This is going to be harder for me because I've seen them all. So I'll let you guys go.
I know.
Rahana, you have.
I what?
So someone else has to go before me because this is just.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Jen, I'll let you go first because mine's going to go off on a bit of a tangent.
Okay. I may be rambling a while myself, so
yeah, go for it.
Do it.
Okay. My least favorite of all of these is Dune, so that would be my 10.
Okay.
And although I haven't seen Coda or King Richard, so I guess I and I tried really hard before this podcast, like to see all 10. I really did.
You're a better person than me.
Last night, I finally saw Belfast, and I'm like, okay, I had to work all day. I'm like, I'm not going to have time to get through another movie. But I will before the ceremony. But anyways, so I guess I'll just go by 8. So Dune would be 8. Licorice Pizza would be my second to the last. I had just a lot of issues with this film. I mean, there were things that I liked, and again, I really liked the director, but I just was like, come on.
I love it.
I said that so many times as I was sitting in the theater. I'm like, come on, you know?
Really?
And so when you have the come on going on, I mean, I said it in my head, not out loud.
Okay.
You have that going on in your mind, you know, there's just issues.
Yeah.
I just was having issues with the film. And I think it's weird, like the age difference. The kid was 15.
Yeah.
I mean,
and how old is she?
25.
Ew.
Well, right. So if they would have kept it as just their relationship, you know, was completely, you know, related in a different way, then it would have been different. But the end, I just, when the film ended, I'm just like, really, come on.
This is like the reverse Sound of Music. I am 15 going, oh, whatever. Hey, you know.
Yeah, it's like, could they have at least made him 17 and a half? Or, and even if you get away from all of that, it's just like I was saying, the things thrown in that had nothing to do with the story, and I didn't even know where the story was going. And I'm gonna get off Licorice Pizza because it's just one movie, and it's anyways. But yeah, and the reason Dune is at the end of my list is because, you know, I sat through that thing just wanting to feel something. I wanted to feel something, and it was just nothing there. You know what I mean? Like emotion. And I'm an emotional person. Like I cry in Disney movies. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it ended and I felt nothing. I felt, you know what I felt? I felt, I had a feeling that the sequel is going to be a lot better. And I hope it is, because the first one was, I think, gearing up towards the sequel.
Yeah.
But as a story in itself, just didn't do it for me. But okay, anyways, I'm gonna move on. So those are the two that I really hope don't win.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, again, I loved Drive My Car. I think it could have been a little shorter.
Yeah.
I thought the second half of the film was amazing. So I think if they could have condensed the first part, maybe even made it into a 2.5-hour film. His relationship with his driver was beautiful. I mean, oh my gosh, that scene where they go back to her home.
Yeah.
And that conversation, tears were just streaming down my face, you know, just loved it. So, but again, I have a problem with, like, this film is in, you know, best foreign film, and it's, well, they don't call it that anymore, but and best picture, I don't understand. I don't quite get that, you know, how they do that. But if it could win for one of them, I would be happy with that. Nightmare Alley, I think is beautifully done. West Side Story was, you know, it's so hard because my favorites are Belfast, Drive My Car, West Side Story, and Nightmare Alley. Those 4. Like if any of those 4 won, I would be really happy. I think Power of the Dog has a good chance of winning. I don't really want it to win. I did like it as a whole, but as I was watching it, and I'm interested, Alan, in hearing your thoughts on Power of the Dog. Because as a whole, I liked it, but as I watched it, there was a part of me that just wanted to just punch him in the face. Like I was stupid, brooding face. I mean, his performance was great. Don't get me wrong.
It was like, Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, do I have to look at that through this whole freaking movie. So um so out of those, I mean, oh, and I'm sorry, Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up was brilliant as well. I didn't quite like it as, I mean, it wouldn't be, it's really hard. See, best five.
Yeah.
Best five should have been Belfast, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Nightmare Alley, West Side Story. There you go. And we'd be, good to go. But no, they have to
love it. Right?
So, gosh, can you come back to me on?
Yeah, we can come back. Let's analyze and then we can make our final picks.
Yeah, and I'm tired.
I'm stuck too, honestly.
So I would, I have thoughts on what I think will potentially win. My initial, all right, we're going to start with my number 10 because there's just no way to get into what I think will win without saying this. Again, I want to preface this by saying that I understand that all 10 of these movies are very professionally made. They're very well done. Like, I could never make any one of these movies and be remotely successful today. Like, I am not any of the famous, creative, wonderful people that are involved in any of these. Having said, I'm a human and I love movies, so I'm gonna give my opinion, even though no one needs or wants it. Licorice Pizza looks like a trash movie to me. I refuse to watch it.
Wait, which one?
Licorice Pizza.
Oh,
I refuse to watch it. It looks god awful. I'm upset with numerous things about it. One, it just looks stupid. It looks so dumb. I have watched the trailer 5 billion times because they overplayed that shit so much. Every movie I would go to would be like, hey, watch this trailer. And then I'd get home and I'd turn the TV on and be like, hey, watch this trailer. And then I'd go to YouTube and they'd be like, hey, watch this trailer. And I'm like, you're making me legitimately not want to see this movie because I've seen the trailer 1,000,000 times.
They targeted you. You're in their
off
demographic.
Of the trailer. Clearly not, because they ruined their chances. I'm done. Like, Bradley Cooper couldn't salvage this for me. Good. Bradley Cooper could have been the main character. Suck it. I don't want to see it. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. I refuse. How dare they shove it down my throat like that? So and that was my first.
It didn't even fit into the thing. It's like they just threw it in there anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
It was weird.
So that was them just trying to get people in the theater. See, it's sneaky and I hate it. It looks so stupid. It doesn't, again, I've seen the trailer 1 billion freaking times because of this, because they just massively overplayed it. I have no idea what it's about. I don't have any real concept of the plot, which means the trailer was terrible. They threw a terrible trailer in my face for months and I'm pissed about it.
But the thing is, if you did see the actual film, you still might not have any idea what the damn thing is.
That is even more frustrating. Like, they made a film just for the sake of, like, I'm gonna be super creative and fancy and I'm gonna, like, make people feel things and not understand. They're gonna have to analyze. And no, you're not. You're not, like, making art just because you're not making sense. Like, art still has a purpose. If you have no purpose, then it's just gibberish and you're just pissing me off and wasting my time. Again, I acknowledge I could not, like, I get it. But it looks like absolute trash to me. And up until yesterday, because Alan is kind and provided me with the explanation for the name of the film, I don't really get it. Like, it's fine. But I think it's a trash name as well. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it just sounds dumb. Like, first of all, who's gonna know that that's what it is? Like, it's what did you say, Alan? That's the name. Like, that's what they used to call vinyls back in the
record.
Yeah. If someone doesn't know that, this just sounds like a stupid freaking title. Like, they were just like, I'm gonna do Pickleball Sunday, like, or not even that, because that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, Buttercup Sunshine. Like, why? Like, peanut butter labradoodle. Cool. That means nothing to me. Licorice Pizza means nothing to me. And it doesn't, in my head, that doesn't tell me anything about the movie either. That doesn't make me want to watch it. Everything about this movie, like, it enrages me at this point. And I refuse to watch it. It sounds like trash. Having said
I think you should take it off the list. Can you make a little cross that off?
Do it.
Yeah, I can't. It's a PDF.
You can't. Dang it. Yeah, I think they should take it off the list.
I think that
it does not belong.
Well, here, strike through.
Oh, strike through.
No, again, this is not an editor. It's just the thing.
But yeah, I think that it does not belong on this list. I'm a little irritated that it is on the list.
Yeah, I hear you.
And so because of that, I'm certain with beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's going to win. Because of that. Because Hollywood really likes the politics behind everything. I actually think 3 of the films can potentially win because of this, but Hollywood really likes to think that they're fucking fancy and artsy and like, oh my God, like, we're so good at making, like, being introspective and making people think and like do all the fun, we're art and blah, blah. But then they give something like this, like, everything, it's gonna blow everything out of the water, and it's gonna make me want to just stab something, like just stab every pillow in every Bed Bath and Beyond that I've ever been to. Like, I can't. That's the most least violent thing that I could say. But
you should have heard her about Nomadland. No.
Yeah. Nomadland was my licorice pizza last year. Not this bad, but essentially it was that. Every year there's one, and Nomadland won. And I literally last year, I remember I was like, there are 2 movies that I'm going to be pissed if it, or no, was it just the one? I think it might've just been the one. I was like, if this movie wins, I'm going to be furious. I am thrilled if any of the other 9, 8, whatever it was, win.
Yeah, you have the most hated Best Picture each year, I think. So we'll have to play those back. Go check those out right now on Film in Minnesota.
I'm a very angry human being. I get very feisty for no reason. But anyway, so Licorice Pizza sounds like a trash movie. If you disagree, I don't care. Just you can pause it for the next 60 seconds and then listen to Alan and Jen again. But that's my thought. So on Licorice Pizza. My thoughts
What's
about
number 9?
Yeah, what's your second most?
Honestly, I don't actually hate any of the others. Like, I've only seen a few of them. Nightmare Alley would probably be the one that I would be least likely to see after Licorice Pizza because I don't like scary or super like tense movies. It makes my anxiety worse. But after hearing what you guys have said about the way it's like beautifully made and the like film noir of it all, like that actually kind of intrigues me more. So it's entirely possible that I will see it now. You guys have actually convinced me in this last couple hours.
I think you really should.
Yeah. So really none of them. Like the rest of them I'm good with.
Okay.
I will eventually see and I'm happy with it. And the ones that I have seen, I really enjoyed.
So we should go top 5 even if you're guessing maybe.
Okay.
I think I've worked out my top 5.
Alan hasn't been paying attention. He's been trying to figure out the 5.
I know he's been writing.
Yeah.
I have to keep the show running. Anyways.
On a rant, I'm gonna favorite stuff.
He's like, Rahana's talking about Licorice Pizza. I got 10 minutes.
I cannot. You're right. I can't interrupt Rahana. No. So, Jen, have you worked out your top 5? Do you think? I'll go through mine and you let me know.
Okay.
So number 5, I have Belfast. Number 4, I'll go Don't Look Up. Okay. Number 3, I'll do King Richard.
Interesting.
Number 2, Nightmare Alley. And number 1, Drive My Car.
Okay.
So I think because of the rankings, it'll fall to like Nightmare Alley, maybe King Richard. Because I'm sure, like, again, these ranked voting, usually it's not your number 1. So I'm just, that's how ranked voting works. So,
yeah. Interesting. Okay.
So I'm just curious, Alan, you don't think Power of the Dog is going to be up there? You didn't care for it, huh? I can tell.
Yeah, it was too slow for me.
It was very, very slow. Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't like boring movies or like to be bored watching a movie. So I was bored. So
that's always disappointing.
But I love Benedict Cumberbatch. It's just like, come on. Do something. No, I'm just kidding.
There are a lot of movies like that, though.
Yeah.
Dinner for Schmucks is the one example I always use. Like, I love Paul Rudd. I love Steve Carell. Horrible. Maybe one of the worst movies ever made. But the cast is impeccable.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes the cast isn't enough to make it work.
Yeah.
So Benedict Cumberbatch, amazing. That was not a sentence. Is amazing. But maybe just not quite enough to make it not super boring.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of a typical Jane Campion film. I mean, most of her films are kind of like that. They're slow and they drag on and they look beautiful and all of that. But
right. I guess, like maybe it was just my mood at the time too, because and also I mean it's kind of westerny, so I'm not really a huge fan of westerns per se, so it's
could have something to do with it.
Sometimes if you're in the mood for it too, so
yeah,
or for a slow film, so it's you can appreciate those moments too.
Mm-hmm.
I think Belfast has a good chance of winning.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Power of the Dog won, just because it's nominated for so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it should win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Mm-hmm.
You have a top 5 ranking kind of?
From 1 to 5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really hard.
Or 5 to 1.
Let's see.
I didn't mention about Dune. While you're thinking there, Jen.
Yeah.
I forgot to say this during the film editing. It was I watched it the first time, I loved it. Second time, I saw nothing but the flashbacks. And it's like, they're doing this again? They're cutting to this again? And I'm like, okay, we get it. He has a dream about a girl. It's just like...
They're trying to get Zendaya in there a lot. That's what people are there to see.
Right. And she's not pivotal until the second film, really. So it's like...
That's actually good to know, because I was really excited about her role. Like, that's one of the things I was looking forward to. And then she was in it for like 10 minutes and I was like, son of a bitch.
Me too.
I was so mad. So that's good to know that she'll like be more pivotal to the next movie, because I was so disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I forgot to mention that during the editing phase, it was just kind of like a repeat of a repeat of a repeat. And it's just like, and then he meets her and it's more dreams. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
This is best editing.
You like it though, huh?
I do like Dune, the story and everything, but obviously part 1 without part 2 is just like, it's like, something Star Wars, or it's like Infinity War without Endgame. So it's just like, hello, where's the rest of it?
Yeah, that's how it feels. It's not like, for instance, Lord of the Rings, I can watch each one, and they're great by themselves.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, it's best, as a whole series together, but you could watch each one and wow, that's a great film just on its own. Of course, the middle is a little bit more, not so much because it's in the middle, so you have to have the whole story. But yeah, it just felt like a lot was missing, and it just didn't. Yeah. So anyways, that's interesting. Back to my
your top 5.
So I have my top 5, but I don't know what order to put them in.
Yeah, just say what they are, and then really you can sort them out.
Yeah.
Okay. Belfast, Nightmare Alley, West Side Story, Don't Look Up, and wait, what am I missing? Belfast, Don't Look Up, and Drive My Car.
Yeah. That's a good 5 there.
2, 3. Yep. So those are my favorites, and I would be happy if any of those won. I think they're all fantastic. West Side Story, I mean, I just love as a musical, and that's just a favorite story of mine. So that's definitely, I guess, in the top 2.
Right.
But yeah, any of those 5.
Is there one you really want to see win of those 5?
You're just pushing her.
I mean, there
She's
can
like,
only
I don't
be
know.
one.
And you're like, pick.
Unless they're doing the 3 hosts, 3 winners type of thing. I mean,
okay, I'm gonna pick
knows?
one. If I have to, Alan says I have to pick one.
He does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick West Side Story.
Okay. Nice.
I like it.
But that's hard because, like I said, all 5 of those are, and if Drive My Car doesn't win, I hope it wins foreign language film. That was
international feature. Yep.
Or international. Sorry, I keep calling it the old name.
Yeah, the old.
Don't call it that anymore.
Right. Rahana, what do you have? Number 1 overall.
I'm actually gonna go backwards because I don't know yet. So we're gonna figure it out together. We're gonna work our way up. So I would say I've only seen 4 of these, so I'm gonna have to pick one that I haven't seen, but I'm assuming that I'm going to really like. And so I'm actually gonna go West Side Story for 5th. I love that story. I love that movie, production, show, theater, everything. And I thought that they did a phenomenal job with it. Like they brought more to this version than was even in the original film. Like there are people in the streets. Like it's New York City and there's actually people there. There weren't in the original. Like it's more alive, I think. And there's just so much more feeling in certain moments. And I really loved what they did with it. But I will go 5th for that. I'm going to go Belfast with 4th because I'm assuming I'm really, really going to like that. So even though I haven't seen it, putting it above West Side Story. Next, that's 2. I'm going to go Dune. I actually really enjoyed that movie. I think that I had very low expectations for it, and I thought that I wasn't going to like it because I didn't know anything about the story. I'd never seen the movie, read the book, anything. And everything that I had sort of heard before was just sort of like, it's like, I don't know. I had heard some like less than stellar things about it without getting into it.
Yeah.
And so I just had low expectations. I assumed like, okay, it's probably going to be like pretty, but I'm not going to like get into it, and that's fine. And I came out of it really, really liking it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was beautiful. I thought that there were certain moments that were intriguing. I liked the cast. I wanted more Oscar Isaac. I love Oscar Isaac, but that's okay. So I would go that for number 3. This is the tough part.
2 left.
I know. I'm gonna go King Richard for 2nd. It honestly, it could be 1st. It's so good. Right. It's very well done. It's moving. Everyone's phenomenal. It's inspirational. It is, it's informative. Like I didn't really know anything about the Williams sisters and all the stuff. I knew that they're amazing and badass and all of the things, but like I didn't know anything about them growing up and all this stuff. So it was it was fascinating for me to like learn a little bit, albeit in film form. So things may have been, tweaked, but
dramatized.
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, they were involved. So I assume that nothing was like drastically way off.
Right.
I really loved it. I would love for that to win.
Yeah, it could,
but I think it very well could. I think it probably should. But I'm going to go for Don't Look Up for my favorite, honestly. And sort of for the reasons that I said earlier. Like, I think they told us a story that discusses things that need to be discussed. They pointed out things that needed to be pointed out. And they did it in a really funny and interesting way, and didn't make it as like campy, I guess, as a lot of people probably would have. I think that they did a very good job with that film. Everyone involved just did their job so well, that it came together perfectly.
And it's so relatable to the times we're in right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Like to literally everything.
And obviously most of these other films, well, maybe half or so, more than half, aren't of our times.
Right.
So they're all placed kind of like, I remember we had George on the show and he talked about baggage in a film.
Yeah. Yep.
And boy, Don't Look Up has a ton of baggage. So
yeah, that everyone can relate to.
Yeah.
So that's my pick.
Okay, nice. So
when we watch the awards, and if one of us has, more
somewhere in our array of 5, we should have a best picture.
Something?
Yeah, we should. If Licorice Pizza wins, we're just doing a whole podcast about it. Just me ranting.
If Licorice Pizza wins, we're gonna buy you dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of drinks.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot of wine to forget that one.
Yeah. I did not like I was more like you with Licorice Pizza. I was more like for Nomadland. Yeah.
Just trash. And again,
sorry,
if
Jennifer.
anyone liked it, if anyone liked Licorice Pizza, cool, good for you. Thumbs up, right on, keep on moving. I don't care. Trash.
So here's the thing about Paul Thomas Anderson, like his for instance, Magnolia, it was the first film like that, kind of where you have all these different people's stories just intertwining at a point, and it made sense. It came together.
Yeah.
All these people needing redemption and having these things in common, although they were all so different. And just, I loved the way the story came together and the symbolism throughout the film. Raining frogs was meaning the end of the world, for these people. And it just was so brilliant. And it came together. And then this film, complete opposite, was like, nothing's coming together. There's no point to this. There's no point to that character. Why are they even in here? What is this? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like he went the complete opposite. And it was, I don't know. But anyway, I feel ya about Licorice Pizza. Maybe I don't have as much of a hatred for it as you do.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone does, actually.
I agree. I don't think another human being does. I don't think they should. It's certainly not healthy.
It's not.
There's a lot of therapy goes into working this out, as it should.
Although maybe
that's why we have a podcast, so you can talk it out,
You're getting it out.
Yeah, I am. I'm letting it out here. People can pause, fast forward, turn it off, do whatever they want. That's fine.
Don't turn it off, please.
And find it and listen to it again and again.
Yeah. If you made it this far, thank you for our Oscar predictions podcast.
Thank you. I tried to keep my feistiness to a minimum until the very end to hopefully help people hang on. So
we made it through.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of swearing from you.
Yeah.
And I
do that too.
And I forgot to. So shit. There.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
What the fuck?
I love it. Now I'm not the only one. That makes me feel better.
If we were on Succession, it'd be all swearing, right? So
I would do very well on that show.
Yes,
I would just walk on set and just boom. I would fit right in. But yeah, seriously though, for everyone who has stuck with us for this, I mean, it's been 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Really?
Trying to wrap it up before we meet the 3-hour cap.
So thank you to everyone who's listened, even to just a little bit of this or the whole thing. We really appreciate you sticking with us and would love to hear what you think for some of these categories. Like if you have strong feelings, maybe not as strong as mine, but regardless, for any of these categories, comment on social media, Instagram, Facebook, let us know. And hopefully we'll all be watching together and see how we kind of did and how we all lined up. Jen, thank you so much for joining us and hanging out the whole time. This was amazing. It was so fun.
This was a blast. Thanks for having me. This was great. I could talk about this stuff all day. So
nice.
I could.
All right. We'll have you back next year, maybe.
Yes, yeah. We can make this an annual thing. And until next time, this is Film in Minnesota.